one. Here we go. Let's go and get to the breakdown here. We have Saint Shepherd Jupiter, Godhead of Agriculture of the Five Elders, the highest authority of the world government. So we have Mr. Worm, and he is a Dex-driven power... Dude, look at this sprite, though. This sprite goes crazy, dude. Holy... Okay. He's a debuffer style unit in Rumble. He has the damage cap potential ability and super tandem boost. Dude, that sprite is insane. He's huge. Alright, I'm digging it. Let's see what he does. I don't want to read this. Let's see. Special ability reduces all enemies' HP by 10%. It goes through everything, including normal attacks only, and completely removes the drastically reduced damage. Okay, basically removes damage threshold completely. Saturn, he removed Rainbow Shield completely. Okay, so he just removes the threshold. If a Dex type is set as a support on this character, applies Driven Territory for 3 turns. Otherwise, applies a Powerhouse Territory for 3 turns. I dig that. Boost Driven and Powerhouse character slot effects up to 5x for 1 turn based on the crew cost. Again, looking very similar to Saturn. So you need to have 750 cost for 5 times boost. Further boost crew's attack by up to 1.5 times based on the outcome of the action special, up to a cap of 15. So that, I think, is pretty much what this guy... Oh, this guy goes up to 10. Okay, so he makes all boost go up to 10 times, but this guy can make all boost go up to 15. I mean, that's a massive jump. Okay. And then when 4 or more 5 Elders, Celestial Dragon, or Navy are on the crew, allows you to overheal for 1 turn. I think he also did that, right? Yeah, if you have 4 or more of the tags, allows you to overheal. So, special ability is pretty much the exact same as what Saturn did, just with doing it on different things, okay? So, I don't really have a complaint about this. I mean, obviously, this in tandem with Saturn is going to be very good. Emerging Sandworm, Captain ability, boosting Dex, Driven, and Powerhouse up to 6 times. Dex and Recovery are matching. If the crew has an Orb boost and the crew uses a special to further boost slot effects, treats the effect as a modifier to the boost, which is, again, looking pretty much like what Saturn does, where if you have an attack boost and then you basically apply another attack boost, if you have a 5 times attack boost and you apply a 5 times attack boost with another special, it will add them together instead of, you know, not working. So... that's cool. If this character is a captain, and you perform excellent with the action special for 3 turns, the 1.1 for the tags becomes 1.3, and then 5 Elder, Celestials, and Navies 1.1. HP 2x. That's a lot of HP, yo. When 4 or more 5 Elders, Celestial Dragon, and or Navy are on the crew, and when the slot effect boost is 10x or more, this character's attacks will target enemy of all attribute weak points. I think... Saturn had the same wording on his article. I'm pretty sure this just means super effective against all types. And then 15 turns of cooldown to 5 Elders and Celestial Dragons. His cooldown is 30. It's pretty much the same thing as Saturn. Yeah. Stronger buffs, less utility. Because his utility is essentially just threshold removal. Right? That's what it is. Is essentially just threshold removal. So yeah, not a lot going on here in terms of utility. Let's see what the other abilities are. Crewmate abilities cannot be blown away and completely evades special reverse and paralysis. Did Old Mate have that too? Cannot be blown away, resist paralysis and special reverse. Okay, so they all have that ability, which is quite strong. Super Tandem boost. Super Tandem with 5 Elders, Celestial Dragon, and World Government or Navy characters. And then you get the level 5 boost to Celestial Dragon, World Government, and Navy. 5 Elders get level 7. EX Super, when you have an orb boost of 8 times or more, or when HP is recovered ignoring max HP limit, which of course you can apply from the special via this. So of course, now that we're getting more of these 5 Elders, Celestial Dragons, and Navies, being able to apply this to get the EX Super is much, much easier. So you're not having to rely on getting that massive damage buff, right? So he changes Driven into Super Driven, Dex to Super Dex, Paralysis removal by 10, and a 50% Driven resistance. So if I remember correctly, Saturn gave 10 turn attack down removal, so this guy does Paralysis. I believe Saturn also gave a 50% Driven resistance, so it's essentially the same effect, but it's just different utility, and that's it, right? So, again, very, very much the same. Very, very much the same. Support effect attaches to any unit with 99 or more cost once per quest when the support character uses a special. Remove damage threshold by 6 turns. Very good. So, I mean, in terms of normal content, it's essentially just Saturn with a different skin. That's the way to kind of describe it. It's Saturn with a different skin. Okay. So the one thing, of course, is the fact that he is not int, he is not striker, means that in terms of Rumble, he doesn't really work with Saturn. Really, just at all. He just doesn't work. So let's see what he does in Rumble and how he can kind of fit with other units. So Rumble Special, 35 CT, which is a little high for a debuffer style unit. He targets enemies in a large range for 4x when 5 or more Powerhouse are on the team, or when 5 or more 5 Elders are on the team. Target all enemies for defense down level 10, speed down level 10, CT speed down level 5, and a 20% delay. That's pretty good. And then targets Navy World Government for 100% chance of evading fixed damage. All enemies for 100% chance of action bind. Target this character for 100% chance of action bind. Okay, so he action binds himself. And then target one high attack enemy for 100% chance of force out. When 2 or more characters remain on the team, targets this character for CT speed at level 10 and 100% chance of force out for 10 seconds. Okay, so this guy's a little wonky for sure. He's got some weird stuff going on. He does seem quite good though. Like, this is a pretty good special. Is this really going to make it onto like a Dex Powerhouse team though? I mean, Dex really right now is still pretty solid. I don't know if I would put him on the team. That special is quite good if you can fulfill this condition at least. Getting to inflict these amount of debuffs on the enemy is pretty strong. But, and then also this as well, being able to action bind all of them. He forces out a character. When 2 more characters remain on the team, target this character for a CT speed up level 10 and a 100% chance of force out. So essentially, if he's by himself, this doesn't activate. I don't know. He's wonky, man. Yeah, he's a little sus. A little sussy. Okay. Rumble ability targets Dex, Powerhouse, and 5 Elders for level 8 HP. Very HP focused. Target all enemies for attack down at level 4 and defense level 3. When 5 or more Powerhouse are on the team, or when you got the Elders, target all enemies for HP and speed down level 7. Heavy debuff Rumble ability here. Navy and World Government get HP 3 and Recovery 3. If this character is inflicted with Action Bind, targets this character for CT speed up level 3 and all enemies CT speed down level 3 up to 3 times. Okay. So every time he launches his special... Well, even though he's action binding himself, he's also just going to force himself out for 10 seconds. But essentially, when he gets inflicted with that action bind, he targets himself for a 3 CT speed up, and then also all enemies for CT speed down level 3. But if I remember correctly, if a character is forced out, they are still charging their special. So the way that I get it. It makes sense, right? He's like the worm that goes underground and then he'll come back up and then... So he's like forcing himself out. He's still charging his special in the background. But then when he comes back, he's still charging. He's going to have more and more special CT. And then boom, he launches again. That actually makes sense. Why is his abilities more thematically sound in Rumble than they are in normal content? That's crazy, dude. I mean, when you think about it in that context, it's pretty cool. I just don't know if he's going to be, like, good enough to run in Rumble. He seems interesting, though. I like that they're trying something a little different, though. That's kind of cool. I forgot to put the chat up. Okay, let's put the chat back up. Grand Party Burst. Inflict status effects 7 times. It's a little rough. All enemies attack down level 8, defense down level 8, 2 enemies 100% chance of force out, and targets 3 enemies with high CT for action bind. Okay, you're not using this guy, I don't think. This is just a little too difficult to get. And then his leader skill, Dex, 5 Elders, Driven Powerhouse, 5 or more Driven on the team, or Elders. All enemies get the huge debuff, 5 or more Powerhouse, 5 or more Elders, more debuffs, 4 more Navy or World Government, all enemies. So he's just a heavy debuff guy. I just feel like, I mean, Saturn's leader skill and burst skill are very, very strong. I just don't think this is hard. This is not great. I mean, of course, like, then again, now that I'm thinking about it, right? If you have a special that says, like, inflict defense down, then do damage, I assume inflicting defense down counts as a status effect. So, I guess it's probably not as difficult as I'm making it out to be, because, like, inflicting 7 status effects on an enemy in normal content, let's say, is actually kind of tricky. But in Rumble, every special just about is inflicting a status effect. Or if you've got one that, like, does, like, attack down and defense down in one special, does that count as 2 status effects? Because you could probably get this to work a little easier. But then again, it doesn't do damage, so there's that. It doesn't do damage. But being able to nullify 2 characters is pretty interesting. Okay, so that's the breakdown of Old Mate. Old Mate, what's his name again? Shepherd Jupiter. Jupiter, of course. I kind of like the Rumble design a little bit. It's interesting. And he's just a reskin version of Saturn. I don't think this character is terrible by any stretch. It's going to be interesting to see how all of these 5 elders are going to work together. They're going to be very, very good, let's say. We already know they're going to be very, very strong. But we'll see, I guess. We will see. So let me know your thoughts and opinions about this one in the YouTube chat and also Twitch chat. What would you guys rank this out of 10? Okay, so let's say 10 being best legend in the game, 1 being like the worst unit ever. 1 being like the story mode Celestial Dragons. I would say he's probably, I don't know, he's not super exciting. He's probably like, yeah, like a 7. Because if you just think about just by himself, he's really not that good. But in context of using him alongside the rest of the 5 elders, he's probably going to be pretty good. Yeah. Yeah, that's exactly right. Yeah, if you need to have the context of the other units to actually make this guy good, right? Interesting.